For some reason, I think as people, we tolerate a lot more from others than we should. I don't know if it's from, wanting to be accepted. Maybe you're not confrontational, maybe, whatever the case may be. But I feel like when it comes to self-love and how that kind of stuff makes you feel, all the things that you have to tolerate throughout the day-to-day basis on, when dealing with others, it has to stop. And you have to teach people how to treat you. And teaching people how to treat you isn't, you don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to be rude about it. Because sometimes it might not even be intentional, right? Maybe somebody's talking to you a way you don't like. It can be as simple as, somebody pronouncing your name wrong and you're kind of not scared, but you don't want to correct them because, for whatever reason, right? Like, just things like that, right? Knowing your boundaries, and just letting people know what those boundaries are, letting people know that these things are not okay. This phrase, teaching people how to treat you, just more emphasizes the importance of, setting boundaries, communicating your expectations, whether it's in, whatever type of relationship. It can be family, friends, co-workers, acquaintances, whoever. And so the first part about teaching people how to treat you is about setting boundaries. You have to take the time, first of all, within yourself, what are your personal boundaries? What upsets you? What makes you happy? Learning yourself, and that's part of the whole self-love thing. Learning yourself and what you can tolerate and what's cool with you and what's not cool with you. And, being able to express that to others. Being able to communicate it clearly. Like I said, you don't have to be mean about it, right? You can just let them know. Like if somebody says something that you don't like, make sure you tell them, right? If there's a joke that you don't like, make sure you tell them, right? And like, I feel like this happens with, women a lot, and I feel like women get really uncomfortable around a lot of dudes because dudes make really inappropriate sexual jokes, which you guys should not be doing, especially around women you don't know, right? That's weird, right? But as a woman that's sitting there listening to it, like, letting them know, like, hey, like, this is not something I'm cool with, like, cut it out, right? And setting that boundary from the jump. And if it happens again, then you take, the necessary measures to, do what you have to do. But setting that boundary so they know, like, you're not the one to be, played with. I feel like, that's very important, setting those boundaries, communicating that clearly, making sure you're using assertive communication, to express yourself. Because, if you say it all playfully, they're going to think like, oh, she's just joking. Like, he's just joking. Like, he doesn't care that I call him Edwin, even though his name is Eddie. Oh my goodness. Like, that was a problem that I had. Like, people would call me anything except my name. Like, people would call me Eddie Spaghetti, Edward, Edwin, Eduardo. Like, bro, that's not my name. Like, it could be super simple, but it's like, that's not my name. Like, I would like you to call me by my name, right? And I never, communicated that effectively enough until recently. It's like, respect me and call me what my real name is. You know what I mean? You have to be consistent, right? You have to be consistent with those boundaries too, because it can't be, oh, well, this person's cool and this person blah blah, right? And it's gonna be like, okay, well, why can they do that and I can't, right? Blah blah blah, right? And it's just like, then it gets kind of, iffy. You have to consistently, enforce that boundary and hold others accountable. Consistency can, establish that trust and respect in those relationships. Leading by example is important because, that old cliche saying, treat people how you want to be treated. You can't go out and, be expecting respect and you're out here not doing the same, right? Everybody's gonna look at you like you're a hypocrite. You know, you have to walk the way that, you know, walk the walk. And then, you know, surround yourself with supportive friends as well. You know, supportive friends are so important. People that's going to back you. You know, I know we all like to make jokes and stuff like that, you know, with our friends, but are they going to be there, you know, when you need it the most? The people who actually value your boundaries, right? Like, people that respect you enough, you know, when you're going out in public, they're not disrespecting you and doing all types of things you don't like. Like those dudes, you know, you got those friends that you hang out with, and when there's a bunch of girls around, they start making jokes and trying to be all funny in front of all the girls, and, you know, just trying to, all of a sudden you're a comedian. Like, where did this come from? Like, you've never been this funny in your lifetime. You know what I mean? It's like, those type of people you gotta kind of stay away from, and you have to be willing to walk away. If you're not willing to stand on what you said and the boundaries that you set, you might as well not set them at all. And that's how people walk over you, right? Oh, he said this thing, but he's still gonna hang out with us if I do it, so it doesn't matter, right? Like, she's still gonna be our friend if we do this, it doesn't matter. You know, she doesn't really stand on that, right? You have to be willing to walk away. You have to be willing to love yourself enough to get yourself out of that situation, because that can be a really draining situation, right? You know, every time you go outside, you have to worry about, you know, people disrespecting you, people calling you out your name, people, you know, not respecting your boundaries, right? And that can be very, very exhausting, right? Like, there's no way you can have fun going outside knowing every time you go outside, like, you're getting disrespected, right? So you have to be willing to walk away when people aren't respecting those boundaries that you set. But one of the biggest things, you know, that I mentioned, like, in the beginning is self-love, man. Self-care. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. That is the main thing. Learn yourself. Know what your boundaries are. Know who you can trust. Know who you can talk to when you need it. Because, you know, those are the people that's going to understand your boundaries, and people that can stick up for you if people are out of line. And so that's another part of surrounding yourself with supportive friends. You know, because you'll have those friends that, you know, be all cool in your face and laugh at you behind your back. You know, make another group chat to talk about you. You know what I mean? Like, so you have to make sure that you're ready to stand on business, if those boundaries are crossed. But if you have any advice or anything like that you want to drop in the comments that might be able to help somebody out, that's my goal here. If I'm able to help just one person, then I've done my job. But thank y'all for tapping in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bell, and I'll see y'all in the next video.